let's continue this chat. We've got a few minutes here about Ronaldo, because it came as a shock to everyone when I read that out, didn't it? I could see your faces when I read it out. I want to start with you first, Rory, because remember when you mentioned at the top of the show that Chelsea were linked with Ronaldo and people started laughing, thinking it's just something to maybe get Ronaldo an extra couple of quid on his contract. It might be a bit of truth in it now.
Yes, I mean, I totally agree with that. I think it was posturing, or I thought it was posturing. I just thought it was a way of making sure that Manchester United acted in the transfer market in a way that Ronaldo deemed appropriate. The fact now that Cristiano Ronaldo has said he wants to leave, so that must mean that this is further down the road than this. He hasn't thought this today and decided to announce it today. He must know where he's going. Do
you think he's had... Look, we say Champions League football, and I think that's what everyone tries to, put on when some of these players want to play. Do you think he's had a conversation with Ten Hag and it's gone wrong somewhere?
No, I think that Cristiano Ronaldo...
Why now then? Why now? They knew there was no Champions League football the last game of last season. Like, even before that, Why now?
Look, I don't have any insider knowledge here. I don't know. But I guess it's done.
What is?
I don't think he wants to come out and say that he wants to leave and then the move doesn't happen and then he...
Oh, you think the move is done already?
I think he knows where he's going, yeah. I think it must be in the bag. Because otherwise, you announce that you're thinking of leaving when you know exactly where you're going. Because if you announce that you want to leave when you decide you want to leave, you might end up not getting a move and then it makes it untenable at the club that you're at. He wouldn't be able to stay at Manchester United if 6 weeks ago he came out and said he wants to leave.
How big a problem is this for United where a couple of weeks ago, Paul Pogba, who you bought for a transfer record fee, leaves on a free to go back to Juventus, didn't seem to really want to stay at United. I know he said they never offered him more money, but didn't really want to stay, let's be honest. And now Ronaldo, who came back in all the glory and, has now decided, I want to go as well. Paul Pogba and Ronaldo, the two biggest names at the club. Say what you want about how good Paul Pogba is, but the two biggest names at United, by far, have both said, you know what, enough's enough.
I think you just got to look at it like this. Without Ronaldo's goals last year, they're in a relegation battle. It's a fact. Yeah. Without how many goals he scored that got them out of trouble?
Yes,
big goals
I agree.
Well.
Big goals.
Do you know today is a moment for me? We were talking about it earlier, and me saying that Manchester United will always be that.
For me as well.
For me, Manchester United were always going to be that club. They were always going to be the institution that were more than a football club. They're you can't compare Manchester United to other football clubs. You can only compare Manchester United to Real Madrid. They aren't comparable to normal football clubs. Today is the day that I redefine who they are. I have to now understand that they're a club that they're effectively a selling club, aren't they? We need to see them in their true light. They are the second club in Manchester. They aren't a Champions League club, and they are a club where the true top talent of that football team wants to leave. Yeah. It's so weird for me to say that because
it's so true though, isn't it?
It's so true.
Today was the day, the 2nd of July, was the day when I realised that they're not that club that ruined my childhood.
The definition of who Manchester United are.
They're no longer that club anymore.
The definition of who Manchester United are has definitely changed because Cristiano Ronaldo, a man who definitely loves that club, has decided that they can't provide him with what he needs. He can't go through another season like he went through last year. And he needs to move, potentially, we don't know, but potentially to another Premier League team to secure the ambition from a club.
And I guess, and worse for Ten Hag, look, the Premier League starts soon. It's not that far away, for the start of the Premier League. And worse for Ten Hag now, you're scrambling around now for a replacement.
Who did they go and get? Who?
I mean, this is the impossible question. Where do you think he goes?
Harry Kane.
Kane doesn't go there now. This is a ridiculous statement. This is so ridiculous, and it doesn't make any sense coming out of our mouth, but it's completely true. Tottenham are a better prospect than Manchester United. What on earth is wrong with the world? Like, how is that possibly true? But it's true. How can that sentence make any sense?
Make sense.
Are a better proposition. Are a better proposition for silverware than Manchester United. Tottenham Hotspur are a better option for an elite footballer than Manchester United. Everything has gone wrong with my world today. I don't know who I am anymore. Seriously, it doesn't make any sense, does it? It doesn't make any sense. That shouldn't be possible. But it's completely true.
It's crazy, isn't it, though?
It is crazy.
Where does he go? I think he knows already, but where do you think he's going to end up?
Chelsea.
Do you?
Yeah, it's the only club he can go.
I don't know.
It's the only club. I mean,
could he go? No, he could go out. He could go into Europe.
You say Europe, but realistically, you know what?
Could he go back to Real?
No, Benzema's there, and he's not going to force his way through that. He's Ballon d'Or now, Benzema, isn't he? He's the best forward in world football. Bayern's the one with Lewandowski now out, potentially out. It could go to Bayern Munich, and you're guaranteed the league. you're guaranteed to go
it
deep into the
also
Champions
gives
League.
him a league in
It gives him
another
another-
country.
yeah,
Gives him a league in
another
another
one,
country.
And we just found out the move.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? We
Yeah,
just
yeah.
worked it out, haven't we?
It gives him a league in another country, which
Yeah.
you know, in terms of, I mean, if he's particularly fussed, I don't know, but you know the GOAT debate,
Of course he's
Messi,
fussed.
Ronaldo.
Of course he's
But I
fussed.
just think he thinks he is, and therefore isn't particularly fussed.
He is.
I don't
My
necessarily
opinion.
disagree with you. I don't necessarily
is.
disagree with you, but whether it's Messi or Ronaldo, I think he thinks it's Ronaldo and therefore isn't bothered.
And I think
financially,
if he
Bayern Munich are one of
does,
the only teams that could offer him the package that he wants
and
as
if
well.
he does go there, do well, which I'm sure he will do, win a league, get as far as possible into the Champions League. Bayern are always in a conversation in the Champions League to win it.
Yeah.
They go and do that. You can't question
he might
who's the
secure
GOAT.
GOAT status.
You
if he
can't
does that.
question. I don't think you can question it now anyway. Just based on what he's doing,
done here
what he's
compared
done
to
here.
what Messi's doing in PSG. Yeah.
You can't, it's not a conversation. I don't think anymore.
I just can't believe that Manchester United have got into a situation where people are desperate to leave. Pogba, desperate to leave, gets out. Cristiano Ronaldo now announces it. He's off.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
going.
That's two massive marketing tools to make money as well, by the way.
That's something you don't think about as well when you chuck
When you
this in.
Yeah.
Financially.
Well, that's why I thought that Manchester United would have been so desperate to hold on to him. You know, when they're not in the Champions League, their marketing in terms of eyeballs on Manchester United, they're amplified by Cristiano Ronaldo. Having Ronaldo at the club makes you more noteworthy.
Yeah.
It makes people more interested in you. It makes eyeballs watch your team. So they're not in the Champions League. They've lost Ronaldo. This is the moment. This is a seminal moment in my life. I've redefined who Manchester United are.
Not one of us assumed that it would be replacing Cristiano Ronaldo. We were talking about defenders coming in. You mentioned defenders. Anton, they needed two. You mentioned that, you know, they might need something in their midfield. Obviously, Pogba's left and Bruno needs to step up. Now, they need defenders, they need a midfielder, and now they need to replace one of the best world number 9s in world football if Ronaldo does leave. And it looks like, again, I'm with you. If he's asked to leave, it will happen. It's just a matter of how it happens and when it happens. He will go. They need to find a striker as well.
If I'm United, I'm doing a swap deal with money.
For who?
Lewandowski.
Yep, 100%. That's what I'm doing.
That's the move.
That's
innit,
the
really?
only move that they got.
There's one problem. There's a huge stumbling block.
What's
that
that?
he wants to go. He don't wanna
What's
go
in
there.
it for Robert Lewandowski?
True.
There's nothing in it for him, is there?
It's true, but
This is a great deal.
How crazy
This is a great deal for everyone apart from the player.
Is that we would say, what's in it for Lewandowski to United?
Yeah, Lewandowski looks at this and goes, "Hold tight, what? I'm not going there. Why on earth would I go there? If he wants to leave, what's in it for me?"
if I'm United, that's the only move I'm trying.
But Cristiano Ronaldo has played in 19 consecutive Champions Leagues, so he wants to carry on in that vein. Robert Lewandowski doesn't want to stop playing in the Champions League, does he?
Of course not. But that's the only move I'm making. Otherwise, he ain't going anywhere.
I think that this Todd Bowley meeting with George Mendes is more significant
That
than
sounds
people
more
are
like
acknowledging.
hope.
What about the
But
argument?
it must. Don't you think that just the trajectory of it? 2 weeks ago, George Mendes and Todd Bowley have dinner.
He wouldn't play for another Premier League side, would he?
Why not?
He could do.
I don't think he
Addy,
would.
I think the big.
I think
you're
now-
so naive.
No.
mate.
If you say
you're-
Bayern Munich, Bayern Munich's a better. It's just Bayern Munich's a much more attractive thing than Chelsea, isn't it, for him? For his legacy of wanting to win sort of silverware everywhere, Bayern Munich, you're guaranteed to win the Bundesliga. And again, if you're talking about this argument in the debate between him and Messi, another Bundesliga on
Think about
top of what he's
everything, though,
got.
Addy. Think about his family life, coming to live in London. I think there's an awful lot to be said for playing for Chelsea.
You know what, though, I think though for him, being in London wouldn't be a good thing.
Doesn't
He's
mean-
too big.
But in London you can kind of get away with that. If he's too big, Munich, Munich is a tiny
London,
city
you
compared to
can't.
London.
London-
Rory. He's not going to Chelsea.
There's
right?
there's anonymity in London. You can be as famous as you want
Not
to be
him.
in London.
Not
Not
him.
for Ronaldo.
More so than Munich.
No chance. Not for him.
More so than Munich, definitely. London is full of A-listers.
What about the debate, guys? And again, I want to bring it back a bit here when people have said that they could be better without Ronaldo.
No,
No,
I can't entertain
I don't
it.
agree. I don't agree with it. I'm just saying we got to argue for both sides. People have said he's not a team player.
Do you know this is one paradigm that I just can't give any mileage to. You know, when people start talking like that, most things in football, it's all subjective. And I like the tribal nature of football. I like the debate. I find it funny. I like flexing the analytical muscle and having conversations about things that could be true. You know, when somebody says to me, I don't think Manchester United benefit from Cristiano Ronaldo, I just stop talking to you. I'm just like, okay, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say to you anymore. What are you talking about? The man himself was responsible for 10 points in the Champions League group stage. Himself, his goals were responsible for 10 points in the group. I can't have a conversation with people. You know, there was actually an article that went out at the beginning of last season, which basically said something along the lines of Cristiano Ronaldo fixes all of the problems that Cristiano Ronaldo creates. I was like, Cristiano Ronaldo doesn't create problems. He's a wonderful footballer, one of the most gifted that you will ever see, who scores goals for fun, who bangs hat-tricks when it most matters. He doesn't cause you problems. There's 100 problems at Manchester United, but Cristiano Ronaldo is not one of them. They now have a massive, massive issue. I don't really know where they turn here. Lewandowski doesn't go there.
If I'm Man United, if I'm in control of Manchester United, and I'm looking at this today, that's the only deal I'm doing. Otherwise, Ronaldo's not going anywhere. And you can do that with the likes of Ronaldo because you know the way that he is as a professional. He ain't down in tools. He ain't down in tools. He's still playing to the best of his ability because he's got something that's bigger than Man United.
I don't think they can do that to him, though. I don't think they can effectively hold him prisoner. He's too etched into Manchester United folklore to go to war with him. It's a declaration of war. If you say, okay, then mate, you're going to sit on a bench. You're not going to...
He will play. He will play, and he will play properly week in, week out.
Sure he
because
would.
That's just in him.
I'm sure he would, but it would be a very, very harsh move for Manchester United to stand in his way, to obstruct a move when he doesn't want to be there. When
he
openly
looks at
said
what's
he doesn't
going
want
on
to be
at the club, and he thinks this is a 4-year project. I'm 37, and I know everyone keeps saying he can play till he's 40, but I'm 37. I look at what's going on. We have no defenders. We have no midfielders.
He's played in the Champions League for 19 consecutive years. He can't drop out of it now in his kind of
I done my part here. I got you 24 goals last season. Everyone thought I could not come back to this league and do it. I got 18 in the Premier League. I've come and I've done my part. You haven't done your part. I want out.
I agree.
It's fair enough. It's fair enough.
This is the thing. I think he's one of the very few people that could leave a football team with his head held high and not feel the wrath of the fans. I think a lot of Manchester United fans will be very disappointed by this news, but surely they look at it and go, do you know what? Okay.
Man United finished second without Ronaldo. And I know the other teams were, all building. Liverpool had their issues with, Virgil van Dijk and Matip and everyone being injured, and Chelsea were rebuilding, but they finished second without Ronaldo. Isn't there enough talent in the squad to add sort of pieces around it if you do lose Ronaldo, get the best out of Bruno again?
No, there's not enough talent at that club to live without Cristiano Ronaldo. There's nowhere near enough talent in that squad with Ronaldo,
so
let alone taking their best player out of it.
So they finished 6th last season. Removing Ronaldo from this current squad, where did they finish?
It could be bottom half of the table.
I don't even think it's that extreme a statement. It sounds ridiculous, but it's not that extreme a statement.
You just got to think. His goals kept them out of the bottom half of the league this year.
I think they finished 8th, 9th, 10th. I don't think it's that weird a statement. Who scores the goals for them without Ronaldo? Rashford, no. Jadon Sancho, no. Like, where are the goals coming from? Yeah, who's the personality of that team?
You forget that Cavani's no longer
Cavani's
there.
gone.
Also, you've got to remember what Cristiano Ronaldo brings to that side.
Bruno Fernandes?
Cristiano Ronaldo off the pitch is also worth his weight in gold. The standards that he would set. Everybody wants to up their game. Everybody wants to elevate their own performances because Cristiano Ronaldo's there. Cristiano Ronaldo's in the dressing room. Cristiano Ronaldo's on the training ground. I think this is so bad for Manchester United. I really do. But there is no way that he stays now. I don't think this is a. Can we keep hold of him?
I agree. He don't make that statement. No. That statement don't come out with him not knowing what he's doing.
Completely agree.
I guess the worst thing for them sort of losing Cristiano Ronaldo is that if he does go, it's not like when Suarez asked to leave Liverpool. All right, let's get as much money as we can. Barcelona, what you paying? 75, 80? We can get that. We can then use the money to rebuild. Philip Coutinho, when he's asked to leave, okay, we can rebuild that money and get Virgil van Dijk and Alisson. He's got a year left and he's 37.
Comparison to Liverpool.
Got to do the comparison to Liverpool. You know why? Because Roy does it to Chelsea. And if they lose Ronaldo, what are they getting for a 37-year-old with a 1 year left on his deal? What are you getting for him? 20 million? So it's not even enough to rebuild and find the next best thing, is it? It's not even enough.
I think you could go as far to say it could go to 30 million. I think because of
Because
what
of
he
what
brings
he brings.
in. What he brings in commercially, you have the right to say I want 30, 40 million for you because of what he brings in commercially. You just got to look at what was it in the Euros with the Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
He moved to Coca-Cola, their shares went down. That's the influence he has.
Yeah. There's no two ways about that.
Yeah,
I mean, what he brings to any club, I mean, he justifies his wages and his transfer fee immediately, in terms of eyeballs, just in terms of interest. Whatever club he lands at, the eyes of the world are on that club. That club are on the back page of every newspaper in the world.
West Ham offer him everything.
I'll stop your nonsense.
Shares in the club.
Yeah, everything.
But before we wrap, guys, and fantastic show, by the way, both of you. Does Ronaldo start the first game in the Premier League for Man United this season?
Definitely not. Definitely not. I mean, he's told us not. I'm not being too. I'm not being
you know,
too. Yeah, this
Mystic
is not demonstrating my vast education here. No, he's told us he's not going to. So no, he doesn't.
I'm waiting for a text off of Rio. And
Hey, we can extend the show for a couple more minutes.
I was waiting
If
for a
you're waiting
text
for
to let
Rio
me
to
know.
come through, we can wait for it.